What is up, guys? LD2T here, back again with another Madden 20 online franchise. We're in our bye week, technically speaking. You see, we're actually in week 6, but I decided to just let us go through the bye week so Isaac can play his next game. But anyway, let's get right into it. We already completed training and scouting. I'll show scouting probably in the week 8 and 9 video. At the very end, probably. Anyway, if we go see, we're going to see what's happening around the league through 5 weeks, and 2 teams have played 6 games. Isaac's, because I let him play his week 6 game. But anyway, if we go over here to standings, take a look, we see that the Browns are the only remaining undefeated team at 5-0. And we have the Giants, Chiefs, Chargers, and Bears all at 4-1. The Rams, Jaguars, Colts, Patriots, Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Packers, Eagles, Seahawks, and Bengals all at 3-2. We've got the Bucks, Steelers, Cowboys, Redskins, Ravens, Raiders, Texans all at 2-3. We've got the Titans at 2-4. The Cardinals at 1-3-1. The Dolphins and Jets both at 1-3. And the 49ers. Then we have the Broncos at 2-4. Vikings at 1-4. Bills at 1-4. And the only team without a win, our Detroit Lions. And if we go ahead and go over to the team stats, we see that the current best offense, if you look at points per game, is the Browns, averaging just under 40 points a game, followed by the Patriots and Bears, and Rams, averaging in the 30s. If we go the opposite way, we see that the Raiders are the lowest scoring team at 15.8 points per game, followed closely by our Lions at 17.5. Now, as nobody will be surprised, we are the worst passing offense, both yardage and touchdowns wise. Our rushing attack is alright. I mean, we do have one less game than most of these, so we would be higher in the list. But if you look at touchdowns, we are also around the middle currently. Our offense isn't very good, so we've definitely got improvement to be made. If we look at defense, though, we are currently the best technically. We've allowed the least amount of yards, but again, we played one less game than most of these. We have the second least amount of passing yards allowed. And as for rushing, we're about 8th or so. We have allowed the 4th least points, and the Broncos have allowed the most. The team with the most sacks is the Titans with 18, followed by the Bills with 17. And if you look at the least, we have the Dolphins and Jets with 4. As for fumbles, the Colts had the most with 4, and there's several teams with still 0. And if you look at interceptions, the team with the most is the Jaguars with 10, and the least is the Steelers with 1. That's one of the big things we need to improve on. As you can see, we only have 1 fumble, 1 interception in 4 games. We've only forced 2 turnovers, which is definitely not very good. And if we go over, we can look at our team stats so far. Matt Stafford, less than great, at the very least. He's got 911 yards with 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Give him a completion percentage of 66%. About 230 yards per game, and a pass rating of just under 90. He hasn't played terrible. It's just we can't move the ball very well. And when we do, it's just one play, and then we stall out the next 4 drives. Go to rushing, you look at one of the very few bright spots of the team with Kerry God Johnson, absolutely tearing it up with 453 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 113.3 yards per game on 6.8 yards per carry. He does have 4 fumbles, which could definitely be improved upon, but he's very much carrying this offense currently, so I don't blame him. If we look at receiving, nothing too special. Kenny Galladay is averaging 93 yards per game, which is good. 371 yards and 21 receptions. But we've only have 2 touchdowns, one by Kenny Galladay and one by Colby Listenby, both of which came in the last game. So we definitely have more scoring that should be done. Honestly, with the wide receiver core we have, I do believe I really need to get TJ Hawkinson in the game more. He's only got 1 catch for 19 yards. He definitely needs to get in there more. If we go to defense, we see that Justin Coleman is leading our team with 25 tackles. And if we look at solo tackles, it's Tracy Walker with 15, excuse me. If we take a look at tackles for loss, Justin Coleman is also leading that with 4. It's tied with Deshaun Hand and Trey Flowers. And if you take a look at sacks, Trey Flowers is leading with 3.5. Just under 1 a game, so that's pretty good. Then you got Romeo Aquara with 2 and Ashawn Robinson with 2 as well. If you look at interceptions, we only have 1, Tavon Wilson Sr. And yep. Then we can go to kicking just real quick. Matt Prater 5 for 6. The only one he missed was that chip shot 15-yarder. And he missed an extra point because I'm bad. And probably the best player on our team right now, our punter, Sam Martin. 18 punts, 898 yards, just averaging just under 50 yards a punt. And look at quick kick return real quick. We got Theo Riddick. Pretty good year so far. And punt return as well, Theo Riddick. With Danny Amendola throwing there every once in a while. And I've got Isaac here today, and he's gonna give a quick run through of how his team's going and his stats.
Okay, so we are 3rd in the league with offensive yards, 24th for defense, 20th when 4 points scored, 25th for points allowed. Yeah. So overall, I think my team's okay, but we could be doing better. I think defense-wise, we could do better. Personally, I think I could do better with getting more people more touches, because I really only target one person, as you'll hear. But for passing, right now, Ryan Tannehill has more yards than Marcus Mariota. That's only because Mariota got hurt during preseason and later on, I think week 3 or week 2. So he's got 1,075 and Mariota's got 503. Tannehill has 6 touchdowns, but Mariota has 7. Tannehill has 2 interceptions. Mariota has 3, both at or above 50% for completion ratings. Not ratings, percentage. So that's pretty good. Let's see. Rushing, Dion Lewis is a workhorse. He has 712 rushing yards right now. He has 113 carries, so that's probably why. Derrick Henry would have more, but for some reason, every time I have him run the ball, he just gets stopped and pushed back, so it's a little harder to run with him. Dion Lewis is averaging 118.7 yards per game. He's averaging 6.3 yards per carry. So that's pretty nice. All right. So, receiving, my number 1 receiver is Adam Humphries, who has 32 receptions and 817 receiving yards in total. He averages about 25.5 yards per reception, 136 yards per game. He has 10 touchdowns, which is the most in my team, which is crazy. But he's just always open, so I gotta throw to him. Second would be Delaney Walker, my tight end. 26 receptions, 277 yards, averages about 10. So he's always good for first down if I need him. Uh, let's see. What else? Defense wise, the most tackles on my team solo would be Sean Sims with 27. Altogether, with assists and everything, it would be Sean Evans with 45. Person with the most tackles for loss would be Jarrell Casey, and that's who I usually play as on defense. Not really good at being like a backer or a safety or corner, so I just look at the D-line. On the year, he has 5.5 sacks. So, interceptions, not too many. About 4 or 5 people have one. There's Michael Jordan, Kenny Vaccaro, Kevin Barr, Logan Ryan, and LaShawn Sims. I could do a little bit more with getting interceptions, but that's only because I don't play as, like I said, safeties, quarterbacks, and middle backers. That's just a preference of mine. For kicking, regular kicking numbers, I guess, nothing too special. Same with punting. Kick return, Adam Humphries is my kick returner. He's got 22 kick returns, 491 yards, averages about 22.3 yards per return. Longest return is 30 yards. Yeah, that's how my team's shaping out right now. But we're still not even. Wait, no, we are even. Are we even? Yeah, no, we're not even. We're 2-4.
All right. Before I let you go, I just have, I guess, maybe a couple questions. Currently, you are 2-4.
Yes.
And after the week updates, I think you'll be sitting around like 26, between 28th in the league. I don't know, somewhere around there. With how your team is doing, how they're playing, what do you think is a realistic guess as to your end of the season record? Where do you see yourself finishing?
Well, obviously, you're always going to want to see yourself trying to get to the playoffs, but with how it's going right now, because how bad I am at defense, I'm thinking we get at least another 2 to 3 wins. Yeah, and honestly, from here, there's only one way to go, and that's up, and hopefully I can make some good moves in the off season.
If we take a quick look at your division, the AFC South, after this week, the most games you could possibly back is 2, so you're very much still in it. With how your division is playing out so far, it seems that you could possibly win the division with 9 wins, maybe even 8, I'm not sure. So a playoff spot is definitely something that is possible. The top end is very high with the Browns, Chiefs, and Chargers having 5 and 4 wins with only 1 loss, or 0 losses with the Browns. So the 2 buys are going to be tough to get to with 4 losses unless you win out. And other than that, it's pretty open. There's nothing, no like super out there teams other than the Browns.
Yeah.
So you're definitely possible.
Well, here's the thing: is like, as good as my offense can be, I feel like my defense can beat that. But it's just a matter of making mistakes and on the defensive end, and it happens a lot. So they're always going to be outscoring us, I think. So whenever I play against a team, it's probably going to be a pretty high-scoring game for both teams. But I guess we'll see.
All right, Isaac. Thanks for being here. You'll probably hear from me next in a couple episodes whenever I do another check up on the league. But until then, see you later. Now, if we go look at the league stats, we will see that for your passing leaders, we have Matt Ryan at 1,705 yards, followed by Joe Flacco, Andrew Luck, Tom Brady. And I'll just scroll down so you can see what's going on. I'll do the same thing with the touchdowns. Baker Mayfield leading the league with a touchdown passing ratio of 10-1. We got 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And followed by Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson. We can look at who's got the most interceptions. Joe Flacco with 8. And Russell Wilson and Alex Smith both with 7. Brady, Newton, and Dalton all with 6. We take a look at rushing. We got Dion Lewis leading the league, 712 yards, 6.3 yards per carry. Look at touchdowns. Jamal Williams is leading the league with 8. If we take a look at average yards per game, we got Dion Lewis, followed by Kerryon Johnson and Kareem Hunt, all above 100. Dalvin Cook close, and Ezekiel Elliott just close as well. Ryan Tannehill leads the league in fumbles, followed by Kerryon Johnson and Matt Stafford, both with 4. Take a look at receiving. We have Adam Humphries, 817 yards. Very far ahead at this point, as Isaac explains. If you look at yards per game, he's the only one above 100, and he's 36.2 yards above that. Chris Godwin is the next closest, averaging 98.8. And if you look at touchdowns, we got Adam Humphries with 10. Odell Beckham, one behind him with 9. Then there's Willie Snead and Cooper Kupp with 6. And if we go over and look at defense, the leader in tackles is Miles Jack with 47. Followed by Josie Jewell with 46. And Rashawn Evans with 45. Take a look at tackles for loss. Leader is Jarrell Casey with 10, followed by J.J. Watt with 9, and Khalil Mack, Sam Ebukam, and Calais Campbell with 8. We can take a look at sacks. Joey Bosa is leading with 11. The fact that we let him get 8 sacks against us probably helped him a lot. And we see Damon Harrison Sr., the guy we traded away before the season started, is second in sacks. And then Ed Oliver, rookie with 6.5. Jarrell Casey with 5.5. If we take a look at interceptions, Jalen Ramsey's lead the league with 4 interceptions. And Bradley McDougald, Kareem Jackson, Bradley Roby, and Bobby McCain and Byron Murphy Jr. all with 3. And to finish this episode off, we'll just take a quick look at kicking. Harrison Butker has the most field goals made, tied with Aldrick Rosas, both with 9, missed 2. Longest field goal is Michael Badgley, 57 yards. Steven Gostkowski's got the most PATs with 22. Punting. We got Brett Kern, 1439. Nobody's really too interested in punting, so I'll just go fast. You can stop it if you feel like looking at any of them. Kick returns, we'll just see if there's any touchdowns.
Sorry about
Okay, Cortana, I definitely didn't talk to you, but anyway. No kick return touchdowns this year, so far. And quick looking at punt return, there's none as well. So, that'll be it for the quote-unquote bye week for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you in the week 6 and 7 games. Peace.